Hello friends, as you are aware that we have a program called Journey of a Senior Advocate. So in this program, today we have with us a senior advocate of Borivali Metropolitan Magistrate Court, K. U. Joshi sir. That is Kishor U. Joshi sir. Sir, Joshi sir,
Yes.
welcome to this program.
Thank you.
We would like to know as to what was the basic background of your family and how you started all this.
See, right from my school days, I had the desire to become an advocate. I had the desire to fight against injustice and torture in the society. And therefore, right from school days, I was reading in the magazines as well as in the newspapers all the topics relating to law. And that is how I developed the intuition and desire to enter the law profession and law education.
Oh. Sir, which was your graduation college?
Huh?
Graduation college.
Graduation. See, I had the pleasure and fortune to be a student of Ruya College in Matuga. I studied for 4 years. I passed my BA in 1970. It was political science. And then, after I passed in 1970, I joined New Law College,
Oh.
one of the best college in Mumbai city, on the same day.
Okay.
And within 10 minutes we got the admission without any formality or queue.
Okay. Sir, who were your professors in New Law College?
Are the gem of persons, giants of criminal law and the civil law. Dr. P.W. Rege was our principal.
Okay.
He was a master in Hindu law. Number 2, Mr. Mohan Krishna Joshi
Mhm.
was our IPC professor and CRPC Evidence Act professor. Then Professor Vidwans was our Constitution and Civil Procedure Court professor. Thereafter, Professor Donde was taking our income tax, sales tax,
Okay.
and Mr. Ganekar,
Mhm.
Professor Ganekar was teaching us drafting, pleading and conveyance.
Mhm.
It was my pleasure to be a student of New Law College.
Sir, at that time,
Yeah.
how was the system? Like today, there are a lot of assignments, this, that. How was the teaching system at that point of time in 70?
That was really beautiful. All the professors were busy lawyers, but without, caring for that practice, they used to come immediately, at 7 o'clock without difficulty, and used to go at 9:30. One was practicing in Citizen Court, one was practicing in Bandra, but they used to come every day in New Law College, not caring for their time for the court, but they devoted their time for the teaching of the law to the students. They loved each student.
Assignment and all that concept was not there at that time.
Huh?
Assignment and all this
No,
moot court.
no, see, in 1970 to 73, there was no concept of moot court.
Okay.
But I was advised, and accordingly, I used to attend trial in sessions court.
Okay.
And I had the fortune of hearing the cross-examination of Mr. Ram Jeshmalani in the first Shivsena murder case of I don't remember the name.
Krishna
But
Desai?
then,
Krishna Desai.
Krishna Desai murder case. Yes, absolutely. And it was a wonderful trial. And everybody, when the cross-examination was going on, everybody, including the interpreter, was shivering
Okay.
because of the terror and the force used by Mr. Ram Jeshmalani. He was a real lion.
Mhm.
Follow. Yes.
Sir, then after graduating in law in 73,
Yeah.
you immediately started practice or?
See, I tell you, I have a long journey. In 1973, before I appeared for my examination, I had applied for post of interpreter in City Court. I was interviewed along with 25 other students of other law colleges, and I was the only one person selected in the interview. The interview was taken by Justice Thakur of City Court, and I had appeared as an interpreter in nearly 40 trials, and I learned in four months. An advocate will not learn in for 25 years. Follow. So that was the advantage gained by me as an interpreter. And after the result came in July, I immediately filled up my resignation and signed it and gave it to the registrar. Registrar बोला पागल हो गया, अभी 4 महीना नहीं हुआ तो तुमको क्या तकलीफ है? बोला तकलीफ कुछ नहीं था, मेरे को एडवोकेट बनना है. I don't want to remain in the cage for years together. Okay. Then I left and then joined Bar Council, and I was given sanad, and I received the sanad on the auspicious day, 30th of July 1973.
Okay. And did you join somebody?
Yes. I remember Mr. Kantilal R. Pandya was a legal luminary in criminal law. He was having maximum matters in Esplanade Court, and my maternal uncle, who was also Kantilal Joshi, took me to his office, and for 2 years I learned a lot. अब तक उसका I am reaping the harvest of what I learned, and therefore my recommendation is to all: don't be immediately your senior. You have to join your senior. You have to take instruction. You have to take learning, and then only you can become perfect. Therefore, license लिया पैसा देके, it does not mean that you are learning. That's it.
Sir, after then, when did you leave the chambers of Mr. Pandya? And then where you started the practice?
After I left the chamber of Advocate Mr. Kantilal Pandya, I started my career as an advocate independently in Borivali Center of Court.
Okay. Immediately, but the
Immediately.
first court was only the Borivali AMN court.
Yes, Borivali Court.
Okay. Sir, can you tell us how was the court in 73? Borivali AMN court.
It was a spacious building which was inaugurated in 1962 by late Lord Chief Justice Chainani. He inaugurated it. There were only 2 courts at that time, 26 court and 24 court, and very, very spacious court rooms, and staff was also good, and it was overcrowded because a lot of police stations were there. Overcrowded, but the working was so happy and so easy that there was no difficulty for anybody. Follow. And everybody would get the chance to get the work done. That was in 1973.
Sir, approximately how many advocates were there?
Approximately 80 to 90 advocates were there. No, there was no overcrowding, and everybody was sincere, everybody was hardworking, and everybody was laborious to learn. And I remember when I started, one magistrate, Mr. Borulkar, he told me, Mister, you have come in this case, witness is present, come at 2:45, start the case. Now it was my first trial, but I became ready because I had undergone so many cross-examinations of the witnesses. At 2:45, I started, and then he even helped me in the cross-examination. And then after the work is over, he complimented me that you have not taken date You have gone on with the matter.
Correct.
I want you to go on with the matter, every matter.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, when you joined Borivali court, who were seniors at that point of
Yes,
time?
yes,
in
yes,
Borivali
I
court?
did. The giants of Borivali court were M.A. Vaswani, who was himself a magistrate, Mr. Rashmikant Mehta, the father of the present advocate Nanubai Mehta,
Okay.
then Mr. K.P. Desai, also a legal luminary and a very senior advocate, then the master in revenue law, Mr. M.B. Gupte, then one senior advocate, Mr. S.G. Tungare, all were there, and they were so kind that every time any any junior had difficulty, they used to guide. And not only that, if anybody was committing mistake in the court, they will immediately snatch the court and ये सवाल मत पूछो. They used to help
Okay.
the advocate. Yeah.
Sir, at that point of time, what was the procedure of filing cases? Like,
Ah.
is it same as today or something different?
No, different. Because see, in 1973 when the old code was in existence, it was only filing and then order, immediate order. Process was issued only on argument. So
Okay.
there was no provision for verification, etc. So 1974 the new act came into existence. But filing was immediate before the court itself.
Okay.
Filing done and thereafter numbering. We are not to go searching for the server room and this, that and the other. They are very easy form, and they had specific time for applications. The applications were called out, and advocates were given sufficient time for doing other work.
Okay.
So there was no pendency. किसी को बिठा के रखने का आदत ही नहीं था.
The timings क्या थे वो time? What were the timings at court
हाँ,
timings?
See, exactly at 11 o'clock, the magistrates used to sit. Exactly at 11 a.m. sharp. Thereafter, at 2 o'clock, the lunch break. Thereafter, at 3 o'clock, the second sitting up to 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that point of time,
Huh.
how was the relation between the bench and bar?
It was the best relation with the bar and the bench. Even the magistrates used to come in all functions of the bar. Even they used to join the picnics also.
Okay.
They even attended the marriages of the advocates also.
Okay.
They were so, we had like family relation. But thereafter, the guidelines of the High Court came, and they had been made like Parda Nashin ladies. They will not participate in any function of the advocate. That is unfortunate part of it, but anyway, it is the guidelines of the High Court.
Okay. Sir, how was the treatment to the juniors from the court in those years?
It is like a strict teacher.
Okay.
फुटपट्टी लेके बैठने वाला टीचर वैसा. You stand up, you start. You don't know, this is not to be asked, this is to be asked. They used to provide information, they used to guide us as to what they should do to come up in life. And there was total transparency, there was no prejudice in the mind of the judges against the advocate, either senior or junior.
Okay. Sir, any kind of an interesting memory you have of any of your case which you know till today you did it long back and you still
Lord.
relish it?
पूरा दिन नहीं खत्म होएगा. Anyway,
One of the cases.
Yes. I appeared for a complainant, a father whose daughter was burnt by the husband.
Okay.
The husband was a constable, so therefore police did not take proper action. And I was given the case of the complainant. I drafted the complaint. I examined 15 witnesses for before process. The charge was 302, so therefore the procedure was to examine all the witnesses who are cited. And when I was to examine the doctor, I had taken instructions from a surgeon as to what is the effect of the human body, I mean, dead, I mean, 100% burn on the human body. I learned that, and doctor was so critically examined that the doctor also was perturbed by itna knowledge isko kaise aaya. Therefore, and secondly, after the completion of that trial, court was completely satisfied that there was an offence made out, and court issued non-bailable warrant against the accused.
Okay.
As a process.
Okay.
That is one of the case. Second case, it was a 490 day and 354 matter, where according to the prosecution, an old man of 65 molested a young girl and showed his private part. On the very first day in my instructions, I just went to the spot and took photographs from all angles. And with those photographs, I totally demolished the case of the prosecution by cross-examining the child and her mother. That this spot cannot be a spot which can be used as a molestation case. Everything was visible from ground floor. Ground floor was visible from first floor. First floor was visible from ground floor. And a daughter-in-law, that's like a grandchild. Why he should molest? And therefore, after the labor and photograph which were shown to the witness, the court dismissed the case and acquitted the accused. He wanted to give penalty also, but he did not give the penalty to the complainant. That is one of the case.
Sir, any memory of your senior, Mr. Pandya?
Huh?
Any memory of your senior, Mr. Advocate Pandya, with whom you were there? Any of his, you have a memory of how he conducted cases?
Yes. See, once he was not there, and the advice was given by the judge to the party, your advocate is not working properly. I should take action against him. He has no right to demand money from you. That story was given, words were told by the client to the advocate. Immediately on the next day, though there was no date, he went there at 11 o'clock and mentioned, this court has no power to take action against the advocate under the Advocates Act. You had no business to make these submissions before my client. You are not empowered to do this thing, and therefore you must withdraw your words which you have spoken like chairman of the Bar Council of India or Maharashtra. He was so perturbed that he had apologized.
Okay.
Yes, that is one of the experience. And see, मेरा senior ने मेरे को सिखाया कि tolerating injustice is worse than doing injustice. Never tolerate injustice, but never be violent. You use your pen properly, and you will get the result without difficulty. That is one of the memory.
Sir, now this nearly 50 years you are practicing in Borivali court.
Yes.
So, what do you feel the changes have happened? Overall, I am asking about it. 73 and now we are in 2022. So, how the changes have happened in Borivali?
I tell you. Formerly, there were a number of police stations and only 2 courts were there. Thereafter, 43rd court was added. 43rd court was established on first floor of Borivali court. Thereafter, in the year 2008, 17th court, which was brought from Mazgaon for trial, was established on 3rd of October 2008. It started on 3rd of October 2008. That was given, additional charge of 3 police stations. Thereafter, two more courts were added in 2012,
Mhm.
67th court and 68th court, which were brought directly from Kurla court.
Okay.
But anyway, addition of court is no solution.
Mhm.
What is required is more than 4 to 5 magistrates more are required for Bareilly court, because population, police stations, miscellaneous work and pendency of cases is increasing like anything,
Mhm.
like समुद्र में भरती जैसा आता है,
Mhm.
like that. So every day we find not less than 150 cases on board.
Mhm.
Now what a human being can do?
Mhm.
How he can do justice to all?
Mhm.
So therefore, the demand is for more and more courts,
Mhm.
but then that demand is kept in the fridge, not implemented.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, how do you feel? What is the scope of profession now? The scope of profession or legal profession. What is the further scope to it, and
Yes.
what new should be done by lawyers?
Yes, yes. Now see, it is a noble profession. It is not a profession or a vocation or business.
Hmm.
You have to maintain your dignity. You have to maintain a safe distance from the client.
Hmm.
You have not to identify yourself with the client.
Hmm.
You cannot act as an agent of the client or anybody.
Hmm.
So therefore, even if you starve, you will continue to starve, but then you will not lower down your status
Hmm.
like a lion. Lion will not eat grass as in the jungle said. Follow. Moreover, certain procedure of etiquette
Hmm.
is required. What is required? The respect to yourself and respect to others. That is most important, because if you lower down, if you disrespect others, you will not get respect. And the words used by you
Hmm.
can cut you, because your client only is the ultimate sufferer.
Hmm.
Suppose you fight with the judge, what judge will do? He will not take action against you. He will dismiss your matter.
Hmm.
He will pass some adverse order.
Hmm.
So therefore, we have to handle everybody properly.
Hmm.
Even a violent dog can be controlled if properly a human being acts. That's it.
Sir, identically, I would like to ask that any interesting incidents you remember with your professors in your college?
Huh?
Any interesting incidents
Huh.
you remember of with your professors in your New Law college?
Oh, lovely. See, old D'Souza, as he was teaching us taught, he was so strict as regards grammar.
Hmm.
But look, in your drafting, if a single mistake is committed in the form of grammar or in the form of punctuation
Hmm.
or spelling,
Hmm.
it will be a funeral to your client.
Hmm.
And therefore, whenever he found any mistake in the spelling, he used to cut 0 mark.
Okay.
He did not. Well, you are doing untold damage to your client. And I remember a case where AM PM
Hmm.
notes of evidence में AM PM का फर्क में I got acquittal,
Okay.
because there was a difference of 12 hours
Hmm.
and court said no, it is a typographical based. Well, no, you have put this circumstance in the statement of the accused. Means you found that it was correct
Hmm.
and it was not corrected by you.
Hmm.
So therefore, it is evidence, and you can't go beyond that. And therefore, reluctantly, he had to acquit my client. That is what I remember.
So that is how that grammar
Yes.
taught by Omar
Grammar,
D'Souza
grammar.
helped you in getting the acquittal.
And sir, I remember, I was so perfect in grammar and English. I used to read Times of India, Indian Express, Free Press, and forwardly there was Illustrated Weekly, edited by Khushwant Singh. जैसा घर पे आया पहला मैं पढ़ता था.
Okay.
I was reading that first and entirely, and so my English was so powerful and grammar that I was ordered to give lecture in English language by my principal of school.
Okay.
I gave a lecture of 15 minutes in English language.
Mhm.
Though I am a Gujarati medium student,
Okay.
but my English was very powerful. And in first year of arts,
Hmm.
I got 23 out of 25 marks
Okay.
in grammar.
Okay.
Hello. That's it. So grammar should be perfect.
Hmm.
If you are not in a position to put the language, you cannot respect the language, then better not to speak that language.
Hmm.
That's it.
Now, sir, one of the last questions.
Hmm.
Being in 50 years of practice,
Hmm.
what message you would like to give to the new and upcoming lawyers?
Yes, yes. Now, first of all, you must be always ready to read everything. Never while away your time to go any other place and talk negatively.
Hmm.
Moreover, you must read the judgment of the High Court, the Supreme Court, and sit in the court.
Hmm.
Now, recently the Chief Justice has said of our India that court is a place for advocates to sit, and not in the barroom or in the canteen
Hmm.
for learning.
Hmm.
So, if you want to learn, you must remain in the court.
Hmm.
Number two, you are an officer of the court. You should not lower down the reputation, and you should not act in a particular manner where the reputation of the advocate is lowered.
Hmm.
Standing out of the court, standing in the corridor, demanding money from police station, getting work from the police station. These are all the things ये दलाली बोलते हैं उसको, वकीली नहीं बोलते हैं. Therefore, those things should not be in the life of the advocate, whether he is getting money or not. The money is always come, but what is required is the quality. And secondly, an advocate is the leader of the people. Our freedom fighters were all baristas, advocates, and they fought for the nation.
Yes.
So our duty first is towards the public and to the nation.
Hmm.
And if you find that a aggrieved man is not in a position to engage the advocate, it is our duty to fight for him. And that's what I have learned in the book Roses in December, written by late Chief Justice M.C. Chagla,
Yes.
who has stated that an advocate is the leader of the people, and he must fight for the public who are not in a position to fight for themselves. Some of the public servants, right from the Bar Council to the higher court, have some allergy for the advocate's letter. I have written thousands of letters to the authorities. Some have been acted upon, but others are just kept in the file, to be kept on record. I want the Bar Council of India, Bar Council of Maharashtra, and even the higher judicial officers to take cognizance of the contents of the letter. It is not because I am aggrieved. The common man is aggrieved. The system is faulty, and those systems should be corrected. That is, and I remember that one of the best and most efficient secretary of the Bar Council, Mr. M.M. Vaidya, as he used to recommend all my letters to the authorities with his covering letter. And therefore, without any difficulty, without any filing of PIL, the work was done. But then with the present secretaries and present chairman and system, this particular work is not done. And therefore, my only message to the authorities is that let there be a grievance cell, public grievance cell, as it is in the High Court. That if you find that there is some public grievance message is given or letter is given, you forward it to the authorities. Your work will be done easily. Instead of your filing the PIL and yourself entertaining or dismissing the PIL with cost. So therefore, my only message is that there should be some time given for the letters which are useful and with content.
Okay,
That's
sir.
it.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Sir, a small token from us to you. This is a memory from us to you.
So
Yes.
thank you.
हाँ,
ये आपके लिए है.
Yes, yes.
So thank you for giving your time.